When Chinedu and Amaka got married, life felt kind. Their wedding was modest but joyful, with white and gold fabrics and laughter spilling into the streets. They were young, hopeful, and convinced that love would always be enough. Chinedu worked in logistics, and Amaka ran a small fashion business. For 3 years, everything was perfect. Then, the economy collapsed. Chinedu's salary stopped. Amaka's business dried up. The bills piled up, and arguments replaced their laughter. One night, after another power outage and looking at an empty fridge, Chinedu said the words that scared them both. "I need to leave." He explained he needed to find work in another state or they would drown together. The silence that followed hurt more than any fight. Chinedu moved to Port Harcourt, chasing rumors of work, while Amaka stayed in Enugu. What was supposed to be a temporary fix turned into 2 long, difficult years. They lived separate lives, but carried the same weight. Phone calls became awkward, and messages grew shorter. People started to gossip, saying their marriage was over, that reality had shown them pepper. Families added pressure, and friends gave advice they never asked for. They took loans just to survive, and the debts grew faster than hope. There were nights Amaka cried herself to sleep, wondering if marriage was a mistake. There were mornings Chinedu felt like a failure, jobless again. But through it all, they never gave up on each other. Breakthrough doesn't usually arrive with a lot of noise. Chinedu finally landed a contract, small at first, but it became steady. Amaka adapted her business, selling online and cutting costs. Slowly, they began to pay off their debts. They learned humility, they learned patience, and most importantly, they learned not to blame each other. 2 years after they separated, they were finally reunited under one roof. Things weren't perfect, and they still struggled, but they had grown. What once would have broken them now served as a lesson. The irony is, the same people who had mocked them started coming for advice. "How did you survive it?" they'd ask. "How did your marriage not collapse?" They would smile, not with pride, but with a quiet wisdom. "Patience," Amaka would say, and endurance, Chinedu would add. Their story became proof that financial loss doesn't mean marital failure, and separation doesn't always mean abandonment. It shows that patience can hold together what anger would surely destroy. The moral is clear: never laugh at a situation you cannot control, because life turns tables quietly. Sometimes the strongest marriages aren't the ones that never face hardship, but the ones that stand up again, together.